She might have different colour hair, but this episode showed us a real-life Dain Kito, the prison master. And instantly, she's now in my top 10 characters of all time. All joking aside, however, this episode was better than I thought it would be, even if my expectations going into the episode were very low. But we're here to talk about it. Hello everyone and welcome to Dueling with Downton, and today we're here to talk about all things episode 27 of the Yugioh Go Rush anime series. An episode that didn't seem all that interesting as we set about focusing on Chupataro and Meeg-chan once more. However, I personally think this episode overall was a wholesome experience, as we got to see things like Yuhi looking very relaxed and happy while getting passionate about this project. We even saw enemies working together in MIK helping out Chupataro. We also got UTS members teasing each other and learning more information about them, plus even Studio Bridge, the people that make Yugioh Go Rush, were making fun of, well, things themselves. Oh, and that new ending sounds amazing. Honestly, there wasn't any plot progression in this episode, it was very filler based, but it was still a lot of fun. So first off, we're talking about Yuhi. Seeing his passion and enthusiasm on his face throughout the episode was super wholesome. Even after getting told time and time again to redo his art, his smile never faded. Instead, he turned the criticism into determination, and eventually he produced results. Seeing his hard work being shown also led to a bigger and brighter expression on his face, simply showcasing how important this project was to Yuhi himself. And I really like that. The reason as to why Chupataro wanted to make an anime felt kind of authentic when looking at it from a crazy fan's perspective. He understood that he did something bad that damaged the reputation of the person he idolizes / loves the most. However, I honestly think his guilt is basically felt for the fact that he damaged her reputation, even if she didn't really have much to begin with, not for the fact that he caused harm and damage to people around him. So if you take Meeg-chan out of the scenario, Chupataro didn't care that he did a bad thing. He just cares that he negatively affected Meeg-chan. Also, that joke at the end with him wanting to take over the world by using this anime, but then learning the fact that Mutsuma Town is in space, genuinely made me laugh. Also, times 2, Chupataro keeping a Meeg-chan image in his wallet was so sweet. So, I ask you the viewer, who do you keep in your wallet or purse? For me personally, if we're talking Yu-Gi-Oh cards, it's going to have to be Kitchen Dragon Maid. If we're talking about Vanguard cards, well, there's probably about 10 plus cards I keep in my wallet. The whole creating an anime side of things and aspect of the episode I thought was really fun to watch. I like seeing the process and stages they had to go through while creating it. We had some hidden jokes about how animating an episode could take months, but we only had a week, so it won't be perfect. We saw a guy with a pot of greed talking about using ideas where they can create cards into existence by just drawing the card that they need. Or how cards are being made by meteoroids. And then the UTS members are like, this is ridiculous, we can't include this is far too crazy, it will never work at all. But hey, it's poking fun at previous Yu-Gi-Oh shows because it happens. As a side note, another amazing element to this whole anime segment was the inconsistency they had of the quality of the animation that they gave out. Basically, they had to rush elements during creation because, again, they're playing on the whole fact is that it normally takes about months and months to create an anime series where they only have a week here. So we had some aspects of the Meeg-chan anime where it was like really good and high quality, and other aspects where it was just complete crap. And I love that. I really do, because you actually see that in anime, like when watching it. Like you can watch any series. I think about Dragon Ball Z, for example. Like some shots in one episode is like amazing, but you watch the same episode and there are some segments in it where it's just janky as all things. Yeah, so I love seeing the storyboard and the designs being hand drawn. Every time we saw this, they looked incredible. Honestly, I'd love to own some artwork where it's like this. We see the outlines of storyboards for certain episodes and certain segments. Because, you know, these design drafts just look great. And, yeah, they were a real highlight to the episode for me, personally. Now, this might not be something new, it might just be me misremembering, but as far as I can remember, and I can't remember any more examples of this at this moment in time, but could this episode be the first time that we see a card that appears both in Sevens and in Go Rush? I'm of course referring to Megumi. Obviously, we know this monster to be associated in Yu-Gi-Oh! Sevens with the character of Yugioh. Could it be that somebody at Studio Bridge who makes Go Rush and makes Sevens really likes this card? Because I wasn't expecting it to appear in this episode. And it did. Speaking of the monster cards, we do see a lot of other cards within this episode being drawn. We see cards like Justice Dragon, Light Sorcerer, and then Yugioh draws some more cards that we kind of see. And one monster I can actually identify is Change Slime. Now this card actually took a very long time for me to actually get the name of, because I remembered the design from playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Dark Duels Stories on the Game Boy Color. Now, if you've ever played that game, you know the designs are pretty crazy. But at the same time, it's a long time since I played that game. I remember that monster design, looked it up, and this is it. It's Change Slime. Awesome. The last three things I want to talk about are as follows. Number one, Yuumu. It's great that she let UTS help, but she only let them help after being tempted by money once again, playing to the character's greed side of things. But here's the question. Surely she should have known that it's not possible to get otherworldly rich right now with an anime about Meeg-chan, because only Mutama Town is going to see it. Obviously, they said this joke to Chupataro at the end of the episode, but why did Yuumu get lulled into this idea? Now, the second topic I want to talk about is this character. Apart from the fact is he looks like he's from Future Card Buddy Fight, I actually think he will return in Go Rush in the future. Because, yes, he was created only for this anime, but now that we're in space, we can see many different characters, many different people, aliens, humans, what have you. And I feel like this character was just so uniquely designed, to the point where we're going to have to see him again shortly. Surely we have to. And the third, final thing I want to talk about is Asaka. Looking like she's going to be dueling Yuhi in the next episode. I think that's very interesting, as we see a sort of mention in the preview about the episode being possibly titled Heading Towards the Great King of Terror. Now, after all, we saw Yuhi and the Earth Samar react when the ship arrived in episode 25. So, could Asaka's reason for wanting to duel Yuhi mean that she knows something, or has a theory she wants to test out? Is there a connection between Yuhi and the Great King of Terror? Possibly. Also, I want to know what deck Asaka is going to be using, because this should be interesting to learn as well. And who knows, maybe we'll have a recycling theme, because that's kind of one of the elements we know about her character already. Anyways, those are my thoughts on this episode. Let me know yours in the comments down below, and if there's anything that I missed, like what were the other monsters that were sketched and I haven't spoken about them, let me know, of course. And yeah, just your general thoughts. Any theories you have, let me know in the comments, and I hope you've enjoyed this review. If you have, hit that like button, subscribe for more, and have a great day. Alligator, matane, goodbye.